See if it goes through.
Mine says live.
Here we go. So it's showing that we're live, Rob. Let me head on over there. Go ahead and share it out, Rob, if you can. Since you're on it. I mean, you know. So you're home, right?
Yeah, I'm sitting at home.
Obviously, you're in the office. So, all right, let me get this stuff cleared out. What? Why?
What?
It's saying that I've lost access, okay, to my Facebook.
Oh.
Why?
I don't know. Ziggy just asked what time. I said now.
Right. I'm trying to figure out here. Okay, I think we're live. Well, I think we are. Okay, go live. Okay, I believe Facebook is up, guys. So here we go. We'll see what happens. This is why I want to make sure that things are set up correctly because I'm not trying to put out something. Okay, we're live. Okay. I believe we're live. I don't know.
I don't know. We're at.
We're supposed to be live on the page. It's showing us live on the page. I'm seeing it. So, but I'm not seeing it moving. There we go. Okay, it happens. We're good. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Wayne Campbell. This is the Driver's Side. Real Drivers, Real Talk. I'm here with Rob Hallahan. Please go ahead and share this out. We're going to cover on exactly where you're able to run under the hours of service restriction. So as people come up in here, please like and share it to your groups. I can't thank all you drivers enough, first of all, especially the ones that are out there today. It's the weirdest time that I've ever lived. So what I'd like to do is it's important that I reach out to company owners. This is Rob Hallahan. Before I introduce him, he is not just a driver. He's not just an owner operator. He also has a fleet of trucks, and he's also covered the steps he's need to cover for him and his drivers to be part of what's happening. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Rob Hallahan from Hallahan Transport. I want to tell you thank you, first of all, Rob, for being here and taking the time out for the driver's side again. I appreciate everything you do, and I appreciate you doing what you've done this morning.
Thank you.
And let us know what's going on your end as a company owner and as a business owner.
Business as usual today.
Yeah. Well, when I called you this morning, it wasn't business as usual.
No, this morning I was busy.
Okay. What did you have to do today?
Got up, booked loads, read my emails, found an email from the state of Wisconsin Department of Transportation about the hours of service restrictions, and they got a permit that you can fill out, allows you to haul up to 88,000 pounds and be exempt from the hours of service, but you have to be hauling something in direct relief.
Direct relief, right? It has to be directed to the disaster, or to, not disaster, to the world emergency
crisis, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I mean it's actually called the COVID-19 permit, and so it's the COVID-19 relief effort supply permit, and it lists all the stuff that you're allowed to haul, and be exempt from the regulations. But
and what did you have to go through to do that? How long did that take you?
Took me about 5 minutes.
And you were
I answered the email back to the state of Wisconsin, and just simple information, my DOT number, company name, address, contact number, and within 5 minutes I had a permit. for all the trucks.
I don't know why my computer's doing this. It's really irritating me. Sorry, guys, about this. So it's for all your trucks, right?
Yeah.
And then, what'd you do? Didn't you call all your drivers this morning?
Yeah.
And
I called her. I took a picture. I took a cam scan of it and I emailed it to every one of my drivers, and then I called them and let them know what it was, and not to think that they can just run, however they want. It has to be a specific load. I'll let them know if it's a load that they can, be exempt from it, but they have the permit just in case they need it. I mean, if they're out there and they get a load of vegetables, then they know that they can haul canned vegetables and be exempt. So.
Well, once you drop that, what happens?
What's that?
Once you unload that load, where you at then? Are you still exempt?
No. Once that's off your truck, you're no longer exempt. And you have to have the permit in order to be exempt. A lot of people misunderstand that, and they think just because they release this that there's going to be, an exemption. They think, oh, well, I can just go haul whatever. If I haul hand sanitizers, I'm exempt. No, you're not. Not unless you have the permit.
Right. So, it's crazy how things are going down. Shutdown, right? I mean, truckers scream for a shutdown all the time. Do you consider this a shutdown?
I don't consider it a truckers, shutdown for trucking. No. I mean, it's a countrywide shutdown. It's a national shutdown. You're gonna see a lot of places shutting down here in the next couple of days. Probably, manufacturing plants are gonna say, "Hey, stay home for 14 days or stay home for 3 weeks, whatever." Well, then there's not gonna be anything to haul, so they're gonna shut us down one way or another. The only thing you're gonna be hauling is stuff that needs to be, necessities. Like you just heard before. I had a phone call a few minutes ago wanting me to haul plastic recyclables. And I said, no, not worth my time right now. I'm not going to haul plastic recyclables because it's not important.
And I heard you say that. Yeah, I was like,
and he agreed with me. He's like, you're right. It's not important that this, there's more important things out there to be hauling right now.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, but you touched on it, and when we were talking about this earlier, you brought something up that hasn't dawned on me yet. You saw freights come to a standstill out of a certain area. Is it farming? Who was that you were talking about earlier?
We haul a lot of seed for Monsanto, and today, we're normally like Brookings, South Dakota. We haul loads out of there every day, and I didn't see any loads this week. I have a load going in there to Brookings. I'm hoping there's loads coming out, but I ain't seeing nothing.
So that goes to, if we stop everything, what are the farmers going to do for next harvest?
Well, they'll get an exemption probably. I mean, that's agricultural exemption anyway. So they might just, I'm not going to say that they're closed. They might just not have put their orders out yet because they could be just trying to figure out where they're going to move things to right now. But you got planting season coming up real soon, so they're not going to put a stop to that.
It's just crazy. But
they might have shut down. They very well could have shut down their facility to do cleaning or something, or sanitizing or whatnot. But they're going to open it back up. That's an important necessity, is to get the seed out and stuff, and fertilizer and everything else that we haul. So that's not going to stop.
Can you ever live through a time like this?
Never. No, none of us have.
It's crazy, right?
It's something we've never seen before. None of us have. I think 1938 was that when they had the Spanish flu, and they didn't even shut the things down for the Spanish flu. I mean, they still had a parade that day. I don't know if anybody knows what Spanish flu was, but it was in 1938 in Philadelphia. So
the sad thing that I'm seeing, and it's the families and the spike in deaths overnight in Italy and then Spain also, and Germany. There's been a spike in this majorly. So, and that's the sad part is I know we have to get ahead of this, and getting ahead of this is bringing things to a halt. So do you think that we haven't seen the effects of this yet in the trucking industry as far as freight? Because if this lasts the 8 weeks, what happens in between those 8 weeks? Do we stop general freight outside of the relief or outside of the goods that people need?
We don't know what's going to happen. That's the scary part is we have no idea what's going to happen because, like I said, a lot of industrial stuff's probably going to get shut down. Big manufacturing plants, they're going to shut down because they got too many workers. They got 800 workers in a facility. They're going to shut that plant down because they don't want to pass on to 800 people that are going to go home and take it home to 1,800 people. What we're seeing happening right now. So if all the manufacturing stuff starts to slow down, you're still going to have your necessities. You're still going to run. All your relief efforts. Canned goods, food obviously is going to still go. I don't know what the hang up on toilet paper is, but they're still going to make toilet paper. But like car manufacturing companies, motorcycles, ATVs, that stuff's not a necessity right now. They'll shut them plants down. Well, when that happens, then what are those drivers going to do? They're all going to jump on the bandwagon and start hauling canned goods and food. Well, now you got an overpopulated industry in one sector,
Which scares me also because when you say overpopulated industry, this reminds me of 2008 when all the people got laid off and the trucking industry got flooded with drivers from doctors, lawyers.
Oh yeah, you had office people that were driving trucks and they had no idea anything about a truck before that. But I don't know what's going to happen. This is going to be completely different than anything we've ever seen before.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's go to some comments, Rob. Let's see what is. Hi, Emily. I see you, honey. I'm glad I'm good. Thanks for joining. All right. Hey, guys. Lee Adams. Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, Lisa. Hi, Betty. Hauling canned goods for Campbell's, dedicated. Does that qualify? My son does this.
It qualifies if he's permitted. I don't know where he's at, where he's located, but anybody that's going to be hauling exempt, you can still haul it. Anybody can still haul it. But if you're going to actually try to run exempt and run the overweights and the over hours, you have to have a permit for that.
So it's funny you brought something up that has nothing to do with hours of service. You brought over, so they're lifting restrictions on overweight too.
Yeah, up to 88,000 pounds instead of 80,000. So they're allowing us to go 8,000 pounds over on the permit.
They're maximizing as much as they can.
Yeah, and the way they're figuring it is they'll allow you to go 88,000 pounds or 10% over per axle.
Wow. Yeah, this is something we've never seen before. That's for dang sure. So, do you think drivers are getting this, are misinterpreting this hours of service suspension? And do you feel that they're putting out, it's just being put out into social media like it's, hey, here we go.
They're on social media. You only get to see a portion. Anybody can go out there and spread the rumor. Oh yeah, they're going to relieve us of the hours of service. Okay, then it goes to the next guy and he changes it up a little bit more. You have to go to the Federal Motor Carrier Association and find out what you're really exempt from and what you need to do to be exempt. So I don't know. Don't believe anything you hear on social media. That's what I got to say. I mean, follow the rules and find out all the information for yourself, because then you're going to find out that the information you're getting off social media isn't necessarily correct.
The one that is correct is things that are closing. And, when billion-dollar industries pull their assets, it's scary. It's because the way it's that doesn't happen when the federal government this is I've never ever seen something like this.
Well, I and I haven't heard anybody say anything about this, but okay, what is a huge thing that truck drivers haul? Cisco Foods, Associated Grocery, Reinhardt Foods. What do they supply? Restaurants. So all them loads, where are all them loads going to go? They're all closing. Restaurants are all closing. Every state that I've been listening to has been saying, as of today, restaurants and bars are closing. Okay. All of those companies, they all deliver to restaurant and bars. They're a food service company. Okay. that eliminates all your reefer and produce freight going into Cisco and Reinhardt Foods and Associated Grocery, all these places. They're all shutting down. So how many drivers are going to be out of jobs for a little while? You know, they're going to get laid off. They're going to have a skeleton crew, you know, that delivers some stuff, but most of it's going to stop. I haven't heard anything. Nobody said anything about that yet.
Or the construction, or all the construction workers.
Well, construction workers, some of them are still moving. I've heard some flatbedders saying it gotten really slow, but some construction isn't going to stop. It's not, you know.
Well, here's my thing. Conventions, all the people in the restaurants that are laid off on top of the drivers. This
Right.
is not just drivers. It's hotels, casinos, convention space.
And that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at with Cisco Foods and places like that, you know, Gordon Food Service. That's all they do is restaurants and hotels and casinos. And so you got all those drivers out of jobs. Nobody's saying anything about those drivers. I keep on hearing you say, oh, all these, you know, buffets are shutting down. And what are these people going to do? Well, what about the people that deliver to those buffets?
Correct. And it's
going to snowball.
It's just everybody. There's everybody is affected by this, no matter what. Whether you're infected with the virus, if you're not affected with the virus, you're infected with the effects of the virus.
Right. But you hear all these guys that, you know, pull reefer and they're like, oh, we're going to bank on this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Well, guess what? A lot of freight's going to slow down, and you're not going to have anything to put in that reefer because none of these restaurants are open. So now you're going to have to rely on something else. You're going to have to go find some other freight. What are you going to do? You know, there's going to be too many trucks.
Well, what goes to, you have already received letters from who, Rob?
My banks. Everybody is that what you're talking about? Is bank letters and stuff relieving your payments and your loans until after the relief is over with?
Correct.
Yeah. And then the Federal Reserve's dropping interest rates down to 0 to 1.75%. I mean, now's the time to go out and refinance your house.
Really? Point being is they know what's coming. The financial damage is going to be devastating to where they're going to waive things.
Oh yeah, they're gonna. I told you, I've gotten numerous letters, you know, emails from banks already to go ahead and start the process if you think that you're gonna have, you know, a problem paying your bills. Well, I ain't have that problem, but if it comes, you know, like I said, my daughter, you know, she works at Applebee's as a part-time job on top of her full-time job. It helps her pay her car payment and things like that. She might have to contact her bank and say, hey, you know, Applebee's is closed for the next 2 weeks and we don't know what's going to happen from there. She might have to get some relief from her, you know, from her interest rate and her payment and stuff too.
And so now we go to how many people in this country live check to check?
Like more than what we can ever imagine. Probably 70% of the people in this country.
So the devastation for these people that live check to check and have been laid off and that are not receiving income now, and all of a sudden everything comes to a halt. Right.
Well, and not only that, but look at, I mean, school's all closed. I mean, our school's just closed till the end of next month.
My
friend, you know, all them people, they're like, okay, well, my kids, the school's closed. I got to stay home from work now to take care of my kids. You know, what are they going to do?
There has to be relief across the board. There has to be something. It has to happen. And from what I'm seeing, and from what you're seeing, and what you're talking about, the Fed's cutting interest rates on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Not just cutting interest rates, but on a Sunday.
And they didn't just cut them; they said they're going to drop them down to 0 to 1.75%.
It's not just us either; it's the world.
You know who's really gonna suffer is 401ks and I mean, if the Fed's gonna drop the interest rates on buying power, you know, you know it's gonna go right to the rich people, and they're gonna lose all their interest too. You know, they're not gonna be banking on interest. So,
well, my wife's 401k cut in half.
Oh yeah, overnight probably.
It was overnight.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's crazy, you know. Let's just see what we're talking here. Over here, Justin Speece. He says it's already started slowing down. and look, you won't make the air. You know who you are. I hope you have enough of it. So I won't entertain that, but I just did, didn't I?
I don't know what you're talking about.
They are what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know you don't. They aren't closing. You can still order food, just can't dine in. Freddie Bell, right? Okay.
You can't. Okay, how many people order food from Applebee's or Olive Garden? I mean, yeah, you can still go to the drive-through at McDonald's, but let's be real.
Well, technically, currently on the news feed right now is public restaurants. All fast food chains will close.
Fast food's closing too, huh?
Yep. That's word on in Vegas because it's there's if people are buying food and they're going to be quarantined to their homes. I mean, we're one step away from that.
Well, and there's enough fear into people. Like we drove by Olive Garden last night. We were just kind of out, and about on our way home. And we looked at Olive Garden's parking lot. There was like 10 cars in the parking lot. People don't want to go out. They don't want to go to a restaurant because they don't know who's cooking their food. Who's touching the box? Where did that crate come from? Where did the styrofoam packaging come from? Who had that in their hands last? People are afraid. They really are. I mean, I know we joke about it on social media and joke about toilet paper and everything, but when it comes down to it, people are really afraid. Just go to the bathroom and see how many people wash their hands now. They never used to.
So, Paul Warner says that, and Michael's a pretty good dude. He says that Canada just closed their borders.
Did they? I haven't heard much from Canada. I haven't heard.
I haven't heard much
Canada's
either.
been real quiet about it.
Yeah. They will move food and John Herdrich, our buddy. They will move food and water, and that's probably it. Do you think that's where we're at, Rob?
No.
You think it'd be more than food? You think it'd be more than food and water?
Well, yeah. I just had a phone call. Somebody want me to haul plastic recyclable.
But I'm thinking he's talking another week from now. So, because
we don't know what's going to happen in a week or 2 weeks. You know what? In 21 days, this might all be over with, and find out it was just a hoax. You
know what? Okay, it's funny that you bring up hoax. This is a hoax for what? The world?
Yeah,
we're playing a hoax on the world. In which way? I mean,
not that we are. That all of this comes down and it's going to boil down. I mean, China's already said that their numbers have been decreasing.
Right, because they got help. And we're actually copying the process that China did with the drive-through, because in Texas they already have them, the drive-through test areas. They've shut everything down. So, and the reason why they've shut everything down in social events is to stop the spread, and that's what they're calling the curve, is to get ahead of the curve.
Right.
And, I mean, what the hell? It's just nuts.
Well, that's why I'm saying we don't know what's going to happen in 21 days. This might all be over with.
Right.
Or in 21 days, they might be saying, "Hey, we're extending this for 6 to 8 more weeks." It's just going out of control. But I don't know. We don't know nothing. We don't know anything. This has never happened before.
Okay, what about this shutdown in New York travel? So did New York shut down their travel? I'm not sure, guys. Did New York?
I don't know.
Okay, what's your thought on our money in the banks?
Well, we were just kind of discussing that right now. I mean, the money, it depends on what you're talking about, money in banks. If you're talking IRAs, you're talking, 401ks, or you're just talking about your average bank account,
Yeah. So JJ Jones, check out these experts out. I wonder how many trucks JJ Jones owns. And if, because we're not being experts, we're just going on what's affecting people immediately. Like this business owner, Rob Hallahan, that has 6 trucks and filed for a permit to haul canned goods and be overweight. It's not about being an expert. It's about following the proper steps to either be part of this or what you should do as a person in this situation, because I believe JJ Jones lived through this before.
I have no idea who JJ Jones is.
Well, he's saying that we're experts.
Experts at what?
Right. Keep on. Keep
we're expert at.
Right. Keep those trucks rolling at Georgia Pacific. I got lots of toilet paper to load up. Right on, Adam. Zachary Day. I just turned down $4 a mile to Phoenix because he didn't have a plan in place if they wouldn't unload me as scheduled. Ooh.
Yep.
3-day. Great. Great. There you go, Rob. You're sitting at home right now. You're not leaving, are you?
We'll see. I might leave. Zach, actually, we actually talked about this, because I had mentioned to a lot of people already, you better, when you look at your rate confirmations and make out a rate confirmation, you better put in place a layover charge above and beyond what it normally is, because you don't want to get someplace and find out, oh, wow, this place is shut down for 14 days and I'm 1,000 miles from home. What am I going to do? I only get $150 a day layover. So you better be updating your rate confirmations to at least $500 a day for a layover, because we don't know who's going to be open when you get there. They might have closed and went home.
Oh, I can actually put comments up. Look at that there. John, okay, sorry, I lost my train of thought, Rob. That's just wrong. Right. Okay, yes, around North Carolina, only be able to go through drive-thrus to eat, no eating in the restaurants. Well, yeah, just about. They aren't closing. Okay, we already read that one. All right, so just heard some states are looking at closing their borders. I'm glad you brought that up, Keith Becker. I believe that Keith Becker is on to something there. What do you think there, Rob?
I have no idea. I mean, nothing. We don't know nothing right now. I mean, they can do whatever they want.
Well, they did mention domestic van travel, a travel ban for domestic.
Right.
So, and then, like you said, the permit that you filed for and stuff you had to file with your state.
I had to file it with the state, but it's a federal permit.
Okay. So, all right. So that's a good question, Keith. I actually think they're heading towards a domestic travel ban or in states, just cutting off everything. I think we're heading towards martial law, but at home without the camps.
Well, they're already pushing for that. I think was it the airports and stuff like that. They already dropped the National Guard into the airports, and was it New York?
Right, yeah,
I think it was New York or Dallas or something. But they sent in a bunch of National Guard to run the airports, security and stuff.
So you brought that up. Let's talk about that a little bit. What do you think? Do you think the National Guard will, if this continues the rate that it's going and the things that are being implanted, will National Guard take over transport of goods?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think they have the equipment to do it.
We have equipment to fight off countries.
Do you really think that we have enough equipment to run the nation's highways? No.
To haul the goods?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we could as a country. I believe our military,
the National Guard,
our military.
We're not talking about how many trucks are in the country. We're talking about National Guard.
Right, but I think that it would go beyond National Guard. I think it would go to the full blown military.
I think you're preaching.
Well, here's the deal. If you go back to, so if all these stores are empty and everybody's home, well, don't you think crime might go through the roof? All the homeless and all that. I mean, do we not remember Rodney King and the riots in LA?
I think you're chasing something. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Crime rate wouldn't go up if there's no one there in these stores with all the homeless. Homeless. What are we doing about the homeless? So
I don't know where you lost me there. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the military coming in and taking over as far as the food chain, supplying that National Guard, and then taking over that. And then
there'd be no need to. We got trucks to do it.
Right, but if truck drive, if they feel it's not safe enough for them, for truck drivers, when do we call it for the truck drivers?
They don't give a shit about what's safe for truck drivers. If that was the case, we wouldn't have ELDs to begin with.
Oh God,
safety.
Oh, here we go. Oh God,
now true. They don't give a shit about us. That's why they're allowing us to run 88,000 pounds and 24 hours. I mean, this is how sad this is. This permit says right here, I got authorization to run 24/7 travel with approved permit. 24/7 travel. So are they putting the approval for 24/7 travel in here because they're gonna put a restriction on travel bans? And you have to have a permit in order to do it? I don't know. But I got a permit just in case, you know. Maybe they are going to do a travel ban. Who knows? We don't know anything right now.
We really don't. We really don't. We can speculate all that. We really could. And we can go, but as far as experience, none of us have experience in this field because it's never happened like this. It's never happened.
No, we're all experienced. What did that guy say? We're the experienced one. What did he say? The experts. Oh, we're the experts. Remember?
LA, here we go. Zachary Day. LA will riot over basketball games, and he's not lying. I was there.
Oh yeah, they will.
I was there, man. I was there. Oh God, I'm not going to get it. I have a memorabilia from the riots, actually. That's crazy. I have a piece of a cop car that they overturned. Okay, seriously, now's not the time. Tina LaHer. Okay, all right. Yay, my son is homeless in San Diego. Tina, my heart goes out to you and your son. I mean, I don't understand what are we doing anything about the homeless? I don't know about that. What do you think about these hospitals getting their regulations lifted?
What are they getting lifted?
They got everything lifted. They can do whatever they want. Hospitals can take over a building and set up whatever they need. They can do whatever they want. Basically, there's no restrictions on hospitals right now.
I never heard anything about it. I don't.
That's and then hours later came the hours of service. It coincided with the hospital. He lifted all the regulations on the hospitals for in national emergency, so to where hospitals can go in and set up and set up wherever they need to in hot spots. They need to take over buildings, they will.
I never heard.
Yeah, that's where that first came. So, all right, okay. I think you're teaching on truck driver shutdown. It's would absolutely cripple our country. So come on, man. No one's talking about a trucker shutdown.
No.
Zachary Day, in big major cities like San Francisco or Phoenix, etc. Yes, it could be crazy. Oh boy. Okay. All right. I think we've covered pretty much a lot that we can cover. Rob, don't you think? I mean, we've been going for a while. I don't know what else we could say here.
Well, I mean, does anybody commenting questions or I mean,
get cars off the interstates, local roads only. Let the travel. You know what? I was thinking about that earlier, Ryan Hooper. What do you think? To the general public, they need to stay out of truckers' ways right now. I mean, I just.
The whole thing is about being social distancing, and when you're driving in your car to go somewhere, you're not affecting anybody else,
I know. I'm talking about giving their space
in crowds of people. You're gonna have less traffic on the roads when you don't have concerts to go to and restaurants to go visit and stores are closing and that's going to be social distancing in itself, and you're going to have less travel because there's no reason to go anywhere. Nobody just goes out and drives up and down the highway to waste gas. They don't do that. They're actually going somewhere. Well, you do because you want to videotape shit. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, when all these places are closing, you're going to have less people on the road anyway.
I don't know how to wrap my head around it. I really don't. I don't. So traffic is light here by me, John. NY is doing that tonight. There's no traffic out here right now. I was on the strip this morning, and the only thing going on down there is Con Expo's loadout. I know Gary Jones has been in town for a while. Everybody's been here for a while as far as Con Expo goes. And I know that that's the only thing loading out of here right now. And as far as freight, this city's at a standstill unless it's coming in for food and stuff like that. All our stores have vamped up to 2 trucks a day. They're telling people not to worry. Your food's going to be here, that's not going to be affected. So, I mean,
I don't know. We went to the Dells yesterday, and this weekend, we spent the weekend in the Dells, and on the way home, the traffic was ridiculous. There was so much traffic.
What about fuel, Rob?
Fuel? It's getting cheap. Has nothing to do with this, though.
Buy fuel, right?
Buy fuel now. Yeah, if you got a 10,000 gallon tank, I'd wait a couple weeks. It's going to go down more. It's going to continue to go down until, was it Russia and Saudi Arabia quit arguing about who can make more? Let them make it. Russia said they can do this for 10 years. So,
Well, they already have bread lines, don't they?
I don't know.
Anyway, but let's see who's that. Let's see. Let's show this one. See if I can. Ryan Hooper, good for us fuel haulers. Hey Ryan, how are you? I hope you and your family's good. I know that guy. I know who that guy. He actually drives a cab over. That yellow cab over. He drives. Okay. But look, if you could tell drivers anything today, what would you tell them, Ron?
I don't know. I wouldn't tell them anything.
Oh, that kills me, man. And I'm
Figure it out.
This guy right here.
Figure it out.
All right. So who cares? Let's talk advantage of it. Advantage of what? What are we talking? Taking advantage? What do you take advantage of it? Well, the thing, if you're talking about fuel, yeah, take advantage of that because our president literally said he's taking advantage of the oil. So he said on the podium the other day when he said, I bet when he unlocked, like declaring the national emergency, he unlocked 50 billion and right away said, we're buying oil.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I hauled fuel for 15 years. That's all I did for 15 years was haul fuel. And it sucked when the fuel price was going down because we'd sit at home. We'd know that the fuel price was going down at midnight. Back then it was midnight. Now it's 6 o'clock when they changed the fuel price. But so we'd end up sitting at home till the next day to get a load, and everybody was skimming on the bottom of their tanks because they knew it was going down every day. So I don't know. I don't know if it going down is really that good for fuel haulers unless they're on a keep fill system because a lot of gas stations are on a keep fill. That they take it low. They don't care how much it costs.
All right, well, that's a lot to get into, and I don't haul fuel. Fuel haulers are getting big because demand for trucks are so high. 20 years fuel haulers here. Yeah, Ryan's a fuel hauler. He works for Navajo. They're good people. Ryan, please get a hold of me. You promised me to ride in that cab over. I'd love to meet you, bro. And I know you just had a new baby. I hope the babies are good. I know my grandson just got teeth, Rob. Oh, you're not a grandfather yet. Oh, yeah, you are.
I have grandkids.
Hey, look, Rob, I can't thank you enough for being here today. And look, I will talk to you here in the next couple hours. I'm going to go ahead and close this down. But remember, Rob, put your family first and be with the wife. Speaking of your wife's in pharmaceutical, isn't she?
Correct. She works in pharmacy.
But what are they doing with what's going on over there?
Well, I know they just quarantined one girl because she came back from a cruise, but she's got to take off for 14 days. And then they're talking about maybe closing the actual inside, just doing drive-through only and then maybe having people at home or something. I don't know. We'll find out. It may change.
Look, stock up, people. They're closing restaurants. Drive-throughs eventually be closed. I'm sure, because they're telling you to buy food. Buy food, stock up. If you don't eat, if you eat in restaurants and you're in a truck, get food. Rob, be safe, brother. I can't thank you enough for filing for that permit and making sure that if we need you can run food for us.
Oh yeah.
And to all your drivers, tell everybody we send our regards, and I will talk to you here in the next couple hours. Have a good day, Rob.
All right, thank you.
So that's Rob Hallahan from Hallahan Transport. I didn't have a topic today. I just knew when I called Rob that he was filing for a permit, and that waives the hours of service. So I wanted to make sure we got that message out. To each and every one of you, be safe. My prayers are with all of you. Lee Adams, thank you for praying for all of us. All of you guys, remember, you're the heartbeat of America, and that rings true more now than ever. I cannot thank you for being everything to me. You should be treated like everything to us. I just don't understand it. I hope the rise of appreciation for truckers goes through the roof at this time because they are still bringing us everything we need. Have a great day, and always keep your shiny side up and love on your family more now than ever. Have a great day. If I can end it. There we go. It's not letting me in. Close it out.